Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Rochelle Paulette. As Director of Marketing, I'm thrilled to introduce you to Senestech, a company at the forefront of innovation in rodent pest management. As Senestech, we are passionate about solving one of the world's most persistent challenges, rodent infestations, through groundbreaking and science-backed solutions. Our cutting-edge product Evolve is a revolutionary rodent birth control technology that provides a humane, sustainable, and non-risk approach to managing rodent populations. By targeting reproduction rather than relying on harmful poisons, Evolve is transforming pest control in urban, commercial, and agricultural settings. We're deeply committed to making the world safer, healthier, and more environmentally balanced through our innovative technology. Let's explore Evolve rodent birth control and answer all those questions, especially how a product made with food-grade ingredients can bolster your rodent control efforts. Why is fertility control the answer, and why do other solutions fail? Traditional pest control tools like lethal poisons and traps seek to control the death rate and are therefore reactive. The challenge is the incredible rate of reproduction of the rat and mouse. Given sufficient food, water, and harborage, 2 breeding rats can produce 15,000 offspring after a single year. In fact, the largest pest company in the world, Rent-A-Kill, commissioned a study that revealed how a pair of rats can produce nearly 500,000 descendants in just 3 years. That's 500,000. Rodents are prolific breeders. They rapidly reach sexual maturity within 2 to 3 months of age. Their gestation periods are short, at less than 24 days, and they have large litter sizes with many offspring. You cannot trap, poison, gas, or drown them fast enough to overcome their fertility. You need to control the population by proactively reducing the birth rate. So we've established that traps and poisons are reactive, and rodent birth control is proactive. This is our why. Evolve restricts rodent reproduction. It is a tailored solution for rat and mouse control. Our soft bait sausages are extremely versatile for our target markets of pest management, agribusiness, industrial, municipal and government agencies, facilities management, and even consumers. It's simple to use, highly effective, and it complements any pest control strategy. The question begs, how is Evolve different from other control means? Evolve's active ingredient is cottonseed oil, which has a well-documented record of efficacy affecting fertility in rats. The low levels of the active ingredient in Evolve are designed for the body mass and metabolism of rats and mice. Larger mammals would need to repeatedly ingest a substantial amount over several weeks to see any effect. Evolve is our new soft bait product that has high efficacy and in a format that is more familiar and easy to deploy. And it's offered at a competitive price to traditional rodenticides. The active ingredient, cottonseed oil, again is formulated at 0.1% in rats, 0.2% in mice. All other ingredients are food additives. The contraceptive effects are achieved at low dosing for rodents and is both dose and time dependent. The more rodents eat, the greater the effects on reproduction. Evolve impacts rodent population in 1 to 2 breeding cycles, which is 4 to 6 weeks, but it is not a sterilant. Fertility recovers after 6 weeks of removal. You may be wondering how Evolve works. In females, it disrupts the estrus cycles, it reduces the number of viable follicles, and it increases follicle loss. But it also works in the males, and it reduces the count, motility, and viability of sperm. The end result? It prevents pregnancy. You may have seen this in your work, what we call the rebound effect. You deploy the lethal means of control and see a reduction in rodent activity only to have it rise again a short time later. It becomes an endless cycle if no other actions are taken. The reason being, there are always survivors and they are breeding. Adding fertility control using Evolve and using it continuously can help prevent populations from recovering after a knockdown. And here is the proof. We recently completed and published our efficacy study done in conjunction with the University of Arizona, where 80 rats were confined for 8 weeks and then allowed to breed. The results were excellent and showed no adverse signs on the rats. They freely consumed Evolve and significantly lowered the birth and litter sizes. This extrapolates to a 90% reduction in population with 12 months of treatment. The lab provided chow or Evolve bait either in a high or low cottonseed formula to rats for 8 weeks, and then the rats were paired for breeding. Results showed rats consumed bait each day while chow and water were present. There were no changes in behavior or weight loss from the bait. Treated rats had a significant reduction in pregnancies and the number of pups born per litter compared to controls. We saw up to 61% decrease in fertility after one breeding round. There were no differences in reproductive tissue weights or morphology of either sex, indicating no toxicity, and male epididymis weights were significantly lower in treated rats. How much bait needs to be consumed for efficacy? With continuous access, as little as 15 grams of Evolve soft bait should be consumed by a rat each month. From there, as long as they're consuming it, you will see effectiveness. And should the bait not be available to the rats, efficacy will continue for 4 to 6 weeks. By controlling the population of birth rate, not just by death rate, Evolve rodent birth control as part of an integrated pest management program can improve efficacy by over 90%. And it's important to note, however, that different customers have different reasons to be satisfied with the product. In the poultry industry, rat infestations cost money as the rats consume or contaminate feed, as they feed on chicks, as they damage equipment, and as the labor required to control the infestation increases. A 90% or better improvement increases profits in the business settings. In urban settings, such as our Washington, D.C. trial, PMPs recorded a 94 to 99% decline in activity and 98 to 100% decrease in juvenile rats. It's of interest to note both the cities of New York and Baltimore are currently deploying Evolve in their rodent control trials. So how do you know it's working? We get asked this frequently. Over time, you will see fewer active burrows or nests. Then fewer pups in the nests are found. Fewer juveniles are seen in the environment, and there's less damage to structures and crops. You'll have fewer rats trapped, and you'll have reduced sightings. But what about, say, bait aversion or trap aversion? Another popular question. Our studies and trials show that rodents devour Evolve soft bait. It smells good and it tastes great to them, exactly what rodents are looking for. In fact, the University of California, Irvine's Department of Housing ran a 1-month test period with 114 bait stations. They reported 100% consumption after the first month and are still reporting 100% consumption as the trial continues. So how do you deploy Evolve? It was designed to be easy and flexible to deploy. We recommend using tamper-resistant bait stations around pets and children. You can broadcast it into fields or around commercial sites. It can be skewed onto stakes or landscaping flags near burrows. And based on the recommendations of several California orchard owners, you can hang it in trees or along fence lines. The beauty of Evolve rodent birth control is the fact that it is not a poison. It was designated by the EPA as a FIFRA 25B exempt product, which means it is little to no risk to people, pets, non-target animals or raptors, and the environment. Evolve comes in a full line of soft baits for rats and mice, in multiple sizes for professional or consumer proactive rodent population control. It's sustainable, humane, and effective. It's the next generation of rodent control. Thank you for your time and your interest in Evolve rodent birth control.